as we say, digital transformation is not a function within the organization. Digital transformation is a mindset. It's a new normal, it's a operating model, and therefore it has to be proliferated within the entire organization and not just a function. Digital transformation and technology has had the most significant and far-reaching impact in terms of shaping the banking and the financial services industry. And this has largely been due to the confluence of several factors that have created a very thriving ecosystem for digital to succeed. To just name a few, if you look at the proliferation of smartphones that has existed, if you look at the access to internet, if you look at the access to mobile data, if you look at the regulatory changes that have happened globally, including in Mauritius, such as open banking, such as digital payments, and things like that, these have been very progressive. Plus, obviously, there has been the increase in computing power thanks to cloud computing that has allowed banks to not just harness this power, but to gain access to emerging technologies and to build nearly anything that they can imagine. Then you look at the effect of pandemic that it has had on the people, where the customers have increasingly become more receptive to digital channels, and they have been demanding a very differentiated experience from the banking and the financial services industry. Now, as a result of all these confluence of changes, we are seeing some real changes in the structure of the banking and the financial services. Now, if I had to name a few, you would see a more mass adoption or financial inclusion in terms of accessibility of banking that it has brought to. If you look at convenience, it has led to a more convenient 24/7 banking access to people. It has made definitely our services much more faster and much more convenient, but also much more secure than ever before. And obviously, it has also led to a much less expensive infrastructure. Now, to give you some tangible examples, we at Absa, we've introduced our digital onboarding platform across our customer segments. But more importantly, we've recently, not long ago, introduced the DG account by Absa. It gives our customers a far better banking account with a great customer value proposition at a much lower price point, thereby giving financial inclusion to our customers. If you look at our channels, be it Abby at our branches, be it Abby on WhatsApp, be it the Absa Mauritius app, be it our internet banking, these have made banking much more convenient. If you look at our contactless card experience, our contactless QR-based ATM withdrawals, our biometric-based mobile app, these have not just again made banking convenient, but far more secure for our customers. And hence, I would tend to agree to your statement when you say banks are essentially now digital or technology companies with a banking license. Like they say, transformation is change on steroids, right? That's why it's probably the toughest part of the change. It's not really incremental. It's about a meaningful departure from the old to the new. In the current operating context, I don't think digital transformation is any longer a choice. It's a ticket to the game. It's a matter of survival as the competitive landscape evolves rapidly and organizations become much more agile. And therefore, for those who do not invest in that change are likely to really struggle and become much more vulnerable as we go in the future. While digital transformation is for the customer a much better way of banking, it makes their life much more easier, and therefore the adoption is likely to follow. But what makes it so difficult is the change internally. And as we say, digital transformation is not a function within the organization. Digital transformation is a mindset. It's a new normal, it's a operating model, and therefore it has to be proliferated within the entire organization and not just a function. You probably have a great digital transformation strategy. You might also go to the extent of executing that strategy. But unless you have the right culture, unless you have the right operating model, your successes may not follow through, at least not entirely. Overhauling the company's performance through the digital platform not just takes vision, not just takes patience or technical expertise or a new operating model or structure, but more importantly, it takes employee buy-in. More importantly, it takes a new organization culture for you to succeed and thrive. So when I talk about a mindset shift, what do we really mean? It really means embracing a culture of experimentation. It really means embracing learn fast, fail faster approaches. It really means challenging the status quo. It means adopting a day one culture to say, if we want to start this business all over again, does this process make sense? Is it the most customer friendly process? And this is a mindset change. At Absa, we are fully cognizant that digital transformation cannot happen without the right culture. And therefore, to inculcate a digital first culture, we are empowering our colleagues to democratize digital to drive bottoms up digital transformation. And we truly believe that our employees should not just be the brand ambassadors of digital transformation, but should also be the driver of that change. Only then it will lead to meaningful customer adoption. Only then it will see a realization of full economic benefits of the amounts invested in digital transformation. And this is how we're trying to drive that bottoms-up digital transformation culture. We find various themes that have the potential to fundamentally shift the way banking is done today. At a very broad level, we think digital is going to become the mainstream or the new normal for banking. And it's not about digital being a product or a channel, it's about digital becoming the new operating business model for most banks going forward. There are several other themes that we think potentially holds the future to change the way banking is done today. If you talk about the digital KYC, the much awaited game changer from the regulators, we've seen announcements come through. We are eagerly waiting for that because we think it can truly take away the physical interaction that the customer needs to do today at a branch network, thereby reducing cost but making it available 24/7. We're talking about open banking, and we really applaud the central bank for taking several measures through the MOCAS framework to make banking less infra heavy, for making it interoperable, for making it low cost and instant to our customers. And we're seeing many more changes come through in the MOCAS framework that's going to accelerate digital payments much further as we go forward. We're talking about collaboration with fintechs, and we see fintechs are driving the new business model. Fintechs are, as opposed to banks now competing with fintechs, banks are now collaborating with fintechs to provide a much better value proposition at a much lower cost. If you talk about, cloud, right? Cloud is giving you access, and it's a narrative much bigger than technology. It's a narrative much bigger than how infrastructure is hosted. But it's giving banks the access to interlace emerging technologies without locking significant cost and time in disparate infrastructure, and making it so much cheaper, but providing it at a scale and at a speed. When you talk about, again, computing power, thanks to computing power, you've got now big data analytics, which will propel mass customization or hyper-personalization through recommendation engine based on customer behavior that will make banking so much more personal. And again, while blockchain is at its nascent stage, you can talk about blockchain as a potential game changer. It has the ability to bring down the cost of banking infrastructure to a much lower price point. You're talking about reduced settlement risk. You're talking about lower cost in making banking almost instantaneous, be it in terms of payments, both domestic and international. So these are some of these themes that we think are going to change the way banking is conducted today. But mind you, these also give you the opportunity, if you can adopt these technologies much faster, you can gain a competitive advantage.